I will let Ryan talk about actual expert things,
And Brian's
and
gonna
I will
eat
just
the entire time.
messily devour this raspberry
Yeah.
cookie.
In simple terms, what are website cookies?
In simple terms, it's just a small text file that is stored in the user's browser, and it stores information in terms of like user preference on the site, where they've been, what they do. I think one of the most common misconception is just that it follows you around like it's spying on you. Most cookies on a website are very harmless and innocuous. Like they are there to record your preferences, whether you're logged in or not. So the data aggregation across different sites is what troubles people, and that they don't necessarily have visibility or consent into that. That's where a lot of the privacy laws have come into effect.
I think people think they're more dangerous than they are. That's a misconception. You kind of need them a lot of times. If you do away with them completely, try and use a website and see what happens. You're going to be frustrated. It keeps you logged in, personalizes things. I think there are good ones, there are bad ones, but too many people, I think, just think that like real cookies, they're just all bad for you. I think what's interesting is people don't realize cookies do have expiration dates a little bit too. There are some that you can create for 24 hours that you can have last for a lifetime as long as your browser's open. So every cookie is just a way to store some piece of info that someone wants to reference again. So we're marketers. We would love to store attribution about, what got you to the website, personal preferences and things that help us personalize the content to make it fit you better, things like that. But at the end of the day, if we create those kinds of things, they do expire.
Yeah, I agree. It's really, anything that would help us identify the user journey, steps they take on the site, how a user is interacting with your brand. But there is a shelf life.
I really like consent cookies and first party data cookies. Big fan of the Google Analytics cookie. Delicious. Chocolate chip, plain chocolate chip. Don't put this on it. Don't do whatever's happening here. This, an abomination. This is an affront to the universe. I like a chocolate chip cookie with big, chunky chocolate chip. Look at that. It's like a cornbread.
Yeah, shortbread.
That's.
I'm not sure what that is.
That
it's
is
not a cookie.
That,
it's a cake.
Yeah.
I'm from Fort Wayne. I'm going to give a little plug here. There's a shop in Fort Wayne. It's called Cookie Cottage. They have the best iced sugar cookie I've ever had in my life. Homemade, I would say. My wife makes these Andes Mints cookies where it's chocolate like this, but an Andes Mint melted on top.
That does sound like a delicious cookie.
Refrigerate or freeze those, and they're, yeah.
This is what you do. So I'll continue staring at these behemoths and let you go ahead and take that. Yeah.
They help from a segmentation and personalization standpoint. So, knowing what a user has viewed on your website, where they come from, it helps you to kind of personalize ad copy to them, or take them to the place that you want them to go on the website, so they're not having to search for what they want to find. I'd say also just like attribution, Brian, like you mentioned earlier, it's just knowing where the user came from, how they got there, and being able to see that over time, and how the whole user journey goes from search to complete a lead form on your site to when they actually complete a sale, like a downstream event. All of those, the information provided by the cookies all help that.
Yeah. I mean, people can talk about privacy concerns all they want, but there are studies out there that have shown the majority of people expect the website to be personalized to them and are upset when it isn't. So the problem is they don't know the tech that makes that happen. This is why we use these things, to make the journey better for them.
I would much rather be served an ad online that is relevant to either what I'm looking for, what I'm interested in, instead of being served ads that are completely irrelevant, and that don't matter. if a company knows like that I am in the market for product XYZ, like I'd love to get an ad and be taken directly to that website. Personal preference, but
Yeah. Not having that personalization in cookies is how you end up buying a toilet seat on Amazon and getting ads for toilet seats for the next 3 years. You are not cooking me, so you know I bought it and I want something else now and what my journey is. Yes, there's definitely a, would you call it cookieless world? They've been touting cookieless for a while now and no one's like fully 100% pulled the trigger, but we're moving to a point where the cookies as we've been describing them don't exist that way or are not allowed in the same way anymore. So for someone like me, I turn to someone like Ryan and I say, how do we get that tracking and that personalization? What do we use now that's different? It's definitely not always just going to be that text file stored on the browser anymore.
Yeah, I think like a lot of it is just utilizing first-party data, like strengthening your first-party data collection. So passing value along to the consumer, so that they're exchanging their information with you, so that you can use that to further personalize things down the road. But that also requires consent. So making sure you are only collecting the information that they want you to collect and using it the way that they want you to use it. Building customer trust at the end of the day is massively important. And then I think also just investing in setting up and utilizing more technologies that are more required as third-party cookies go away, which is the conversions APIs of the world, the CAPIs, server-side tagging, things like that.
First party data is the treasure chest. That's stuff that no other company has. It's your own customers or your own leads or your own prospects. You can do so much with it as long as you follow the letters of the law to collect it.
And learning to use that in a strategic way. Most platforms are now moving more towards AI-driven algorithms where you need to feed it the best data possible in order to get the best results and in order for it to find more users like that. So the cleaner the data, the more data that you have, that's just more and more important as time goes on.
It's got to be the consent, right? Like proper collection of the information that lets you actually use it.
You typically hear like the GDPRs, the CCPAs, and just the myriad of newer state regulations in the U.S. that are coming out seemingly on a regular basis. I think other common mistakes, and they relate to consent, are just ignoring consent completely, and firing tags and placing cookies even if they're
raisins. Like, I mean, does anyone have any different answer? Show me one person who likes raisins in their cookie, and I'll show you someone who's lying to themselves and their loved ones.
And it's unfortunate. Like raisins masquerade as chocolate chips
They
all
do.
the time.
They will fool you. They will bait and switch you.
Yep.
And it is never pleasant.
It needs to be some sort of like display saying that, hey, this is a raisin.
Yeah, kind of like you do with like gluten-free cookies, or if there's a peanut allergy, you'd be like, this is a raisin facility. Yes. Imagine raisins in these things. How big those would be. Grapes. They just put grapes on them.
We need more disclaimers there.